Hello there. Just giving you a shot of the old fairy lights there. Thank you ever so much for everybody who joined in with the live yesterday, and very grateful to Mervyn and to Jonathan, who sort of appeared on the screen, as it were, and very grateful to everyone who's watched the live after it was put up, after it was done. When it was no longer live, and everyone who's commented and everything like that. I've tried to read and respond to as many comments as I can at the moment. I've just watched a video by Tea Break with Tasha, which is about a range of issues, but obviously also incorporates Lucy Letby. And I'm noticing in the comments that people are making these points. I've read many of them over the last, long period of time, really, in which, yes, it's about this terrible injustice, but that as being emblematic, is that the word? Emblematic of so much else that's going on, both in the country and in the world, actually, and in people's personal lives and in their personal histories. But anyway, so I really recommend Tasha's video there, which I'm going to put below. And also, as Tasha mentions in the video, I'd heard from a friend of mine from the area I live in, or a little bit away, Amanda Gazidis' channel, which I hope you can check out as well. And I'll link both the channels below in the description. And Amanda is just had an interview with David Curtin of the Heritage Party, and as I think many of you will know, David Curtin was very brave from his position, or courageous, and I think he is anyway across a range of issues. But he mentioned his concerns about the Lucy Letby. I think he's pretty. I think he's pretty much. He's not on the fence. I think he pretty much believes it's something terrible has gone wrong there, as so many of us do, in terms of an injustice, a miscarriage of justice. So my friend Amanda Gazidis, and I'll put her channel below, and also David Curtin's as well, and a link to the interview with regard to Glastonbury, which is not that far from me, although I haven't been there for quite a while because of no transport, but no personal transport. And it's about the UNESCO plan, or the local council, trying to kind of bypass the. I haven't watched the video yet. I'm going to watch it this evening, but I know the issue, and I know the issue about the petition that's there as well. I'll put up the link to the petition and it's with regard to UNESCO in conjunction with the council possibly wanting to. Well, they actually seem to want to, or be open to making Glastonbury a World Heritage Site. And on paper, people might hear that and say, "Oh, that's a great thing," but it's not as simple as that, and it can completely alter and change and undermine the nature of a place like Glastonbury in spiritual terms, because of what a heavy kind of influence it would bring to bear. And there's so many aspects of it, but I think the best thing to do is to listen to the discussion with between David Curtin and Amanda Gazidis, and I'll put the link below. And no, I haven't listened to that video myself yet, but I'm going to. But I'm aware of the issues there, and the issues for what the campaign that Amanda Gazidis is sort of heading up alongside other people, of course, and other friends from Glastonbury, from and around Glastonbury. And so thank you very much for listening, and have a good day there. I'm a bit distracted today because there's a lot going on. But I really appreciate everybody who kind of joined in with the live discussion. And I was going to start talking about another issue, but perhaps I'll leave it there. In brief, it's just the idea of what links so much of this is the concept of self-interest over principle. And I was going to go through all the elements of what's ended up with this miscarriage of justice with Lucy Letby, and every element of that, every organisation and individual concerned that has created this terrible injustice, what links it all is self-interest over principle and over truth, self-interest. And they're all continuing to act based on that fundamental driver in their personalities. It's self-interest, self-interest, self-interest. But nonetheless, truth and justice is not going to, and the collective outcry about this in all its different forms, in the formal forms of an application to the Court of Appeal and to the CCRC, etc., but also the collective, growing, energetic will for truth and justice to be supreme, which it is in truth, which it always is, but sometimes it's badly let down, and it's perverted, and that's a term, isn't it? The perversion of justice. It has been monumentally, hugely perverted. I'll leave it there because there's no need to say any more about that. We know it's been perverted, and it's going to be set right. And a phrase I like, I can't remember where it's from. The restoration of order. I'll remember where it's from. It's from, and I can't remember exactly who said it. It was it might be P.D. James. It was a writer of crime fiction, either P.D. James or Barbara Vine, or I think it was P.D. James. Let's go with that. It's someone of that kind of stature, of a writer of crime fiction. And she was asked in an interview, if it was her, she was asked in an interview, why do you think people like reading your stories about crimes and with your detectives and things, murders and things like that? And she said, because it's not so much about the crimes, although that's an element of it. It's about the restoration of order. The satisfaction comes from people reading a story in which there is disorder, a crime takes place, but with the detective or whoever the main person is who seeks to put things right, struggles to put things right, and not necessarily a detective, it could be other characters in a story or a novel or a play or a film. You could think of Gregory Peck in I'm forgetting things. My head's all over the shop. What's the film Gregory Peck where he's a lawyer in it, based on that brilliant novel? Oh, anyway, somebody will write it in the comments. Where there are children and there's Boo Radley in it. What's that called? Oh, it's gone. Anyway, I'm sure you know what I mean, and so many other films. So it could be a lawyer character. It could be an individual who's not in any particular profession or anything. It could be anyone, and a group of people. It's about the restoration of order, and that's what people have a hunger for and a sense, and that's what informs and should inform a system of justice. But our system of justice and the way it's administered in so many ways is quite abysmal, actually, and hard baked into the attitudes around it, and those that make very good livings from it. Many of them, not all of them, obviously not all of them, but there's something quite corrupted in the way it is currently set up and allowed to perpetuate, allowed to continue, exemplified by Lord Denning's attitude in a video that I linked in the community notes a few weeks ago, when he says that, it's like a travesty if the media, for example, or anyone outside the criminal justice system starts making a fuss about a potential miscarriage of justice. They should leave it all well alone and let the system get on with itself, because that's all that matters. Only those chosen people with their accoutrements, the wigs and the gowns, only they know. Nobody else is allowed to have a viewpoint. So that's a corruption. That's an inversion of what that system should be there for, because it's for all of us. It's being paid for by all of us as well, not least that. But in principle, it is for all of us, by all of us, in all our interests, or should be. But this corralling off of these systems of so-called expertise, when very, very, very many people they can smell when something's rotten. They know it. They can smell it. You don't have to have a law degree to smell this stuff. Or you don't have to be a Dr. Evans to know that a Dr. Evans, there's something profoundly, deeply, and most sinister about this individual, and his attitudes. Anyway, I'll leave it there. All the best, and thanks very much again. And I'll put the links below that I mentioned throughout this little video. Take care. Bye bye.